would be a whole step. I'm covering a half step and then another half step. So the distance from a C to a D would be a whole step. An F to a G, that would be a whole step. Even when we use an open string, there's still this one fret in between this G and the A. Those would also be whole steps. Now half steps are between two pairs of notes. This is very critical. Here's the rule. The only naturally occurring half steps are between E and F and B and C. Naturally occurring, what I mean by that is there's no sharps or flats involved. If we're not talking about sharps or flats at all, we're just talking about just the notes, C, D, E, F, G, and A and B. The only naturally occurring half steps are between two pairs of notes, E and F and B and C. On our guitar it'd be E to F and B to C. Now you may think that's not very important, but here in a second that's going to get real critical. Let's learn the notes on the sixth string. We already have open E, we have first finger F, we've got up here on the third fret G. Well, if I wanted to keep going higher, the distance between a G to an A would be a whole step. Think of it this way. Everything is going to be a whole step except for two pairs of notes, E and F and B and C. All the other ones, without sharps or flats, are going to be whole steps. So a G to an A would be a whole step. An A to a B would be another whole step. Now here, I want to go to a C, but the rule says between a B and a C is a half step. So that would just be one fret's worth. That would be C. Now we need to go from C to the next note, which would be a D. Well, that's not one of our exceptions, so that would be a whole step again. And then D to E would be another whole step again. Let's do that again. You try it with me at home. We have E, F, G, then the next note would be A, and that would be a whole step up at the 5th fret. Next note would be a B, that would be a whole step up at the 7th fret. And then between B and C, that's just a half step, so that's at the 8th fret. Then D, a whole step above that at 10, and D to E would be our last one up here, and that would be the 12th fret. Now, let me tell you about the magical 12th fret. At the 12th fret, everything starts repeating. This would be E, then you'd have F, just like this F. Then you'd have G, just like this G. So it just kind of keeps going. E, F, G, A, B. So really, once you've got the first 12, you have the rest of the instrument there because it just keeps repeating. Okay? Let's do it one more time. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Now let's go back down backwards. Okay? Try and say and play the notes with me. E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Very good. Now, when I throw sharps or flats in it, I just have to raise, remember, whatever note it is, if I'm sharping it, I go up one half step, which would be one fret's worth. So if I wanted a G sharp, there would be a G sharp on the 4th fret. If I wanted, let's say, a C sharp, that would be, well, here's C, I go a half step above that, and I get C sharp. So now let's jump around a little bit. I'm just going to tell you a couple of them, and you try and find them. Okay? We'll start out with G. There would be a G. What about C? Where would that be at? Count it up. E, F, G, A, B, C. At the 8th fret. What about F? Well, that one's pretty easy. That's down here at the 1st. That was one of the first things we learned. What about a B flat now? Well, here's a B, so there's a B flat. What about an E flat? Well, go up to the 12th fret, that's E. I can't get any lower down here to the opening, so I've got to go high. If I can't go low, I've got to go high. There's E flat. So there's some chance for you to practice.